have. You will have your all these kind of questions as well. So MCQs and all also we'll discuss, as well as the question answers of the back exercises which are there, the exercises on page number 18 and 19, that also we are going to discuss, and you guys are going to do it in your notebook. And also the PPT, I will share it with you. It will make your task easier so that you can understand or get a summary of the chapter as well. So this will be for today. This is your entire thing for today. And we'll reach page number 17, all of you, if you have your own books. Otherwise, I'm just sharing the PPT with you. All of you can have a look. We're almost towards the last we have reached. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody? We were doing almost page number 17, and towards like I checked and rechecked my calculation. That was the page I remember. Yeah. Okay. Can somebody just hurriedly brief me what is the chapter all about till now? Please tell me fast. Maybe Siddharth, or even Lenoy, or everybody is there, because later you might get all these questions. And please remember, this time you have to study in detail, because MCQs are not straightforward and knowledge based that you can just mug up a few things and you can remember. Some questions will be slightly tricky, but yes, not very difficult. But if you are thorough with the chapter, things will be very easy. So maybe one of you can just, Siddharth, why don't you just brief the class about the chapter, beta? And after that, I'll let you know what exactly that 4 children's name I suggested. Those children are going to do some presentation. Yeah.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Please.
Ma'am, in the chapter, ma'am, in the chapter, ma'am, a family, in a family with ma'am, a family with 2 children, Sue and ma'am, I don't remember the other kid's name.
Mary.
Ma'am, Mary to wife. Ma'am,
Yeah,
Mary
Mary
was
was
I
the
think wife.
wife's name.
You're talking about whom? You're saying about the narrator, his wife, Mary, son Jonathan, and daughter Suzanne. These are the 4 characters, and the 2 crewmen also. Can anybody tell me what is the name of the crewmen? Siddharth, what
American
happened?
Larry Vigil and Herb Ziegler.
Very good. American Larry Vigil and Herb Ziegler. Now continue.
Ma'am, they were on a ship voyage, ma'am, from Cape Town. From Cape Town to Africa, oh my God. It was Africa.
Again, see, MCQ questions, you'll fail them. So they started from Plymouth in England. They have finally reached here, which is said, Cape Town. In fact, yeah, continue. After that, you tell me.
So, yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, they got, stuck in a storm in Indian Ocean, Southern Indian Ocean. Ma'am, where they were facing very difficulties. Ma'am,
Yes.
their ship, ma'am, it was also, ma'am, their ship was hard hit by the storms, and
Very good.
they were struggling to keep themselves alive. Ma'am,
The entire journey has been narrated. Yeah. Okay. Till here, it is fine. Anybody else who would like to join in and add a few lines?
Ma'am, please repeat the question once.
Beta, I just asked for a simple thing, that till now, what is the summary of the chapter? Till page number 17 we have done. What exactly have we done? That's all. Simple language, you can use your own language and let me know what have we done till. That's it. Tell me. Now, you only tell me. Just choice of words you have to use. The chapter isn't very difficult.
In this chapter till now we have done that in July around 1976,
Mm-hmm.
the narrator's wife Mary and his whole family just went to a world
Mm-hmm.
that the world voyage, in it,
Mm-hmm.
and
And what
and
was
they
the
just
boat called?
faced. Yes, ma'am.
What was the boat called on which they had taken up the journey?
Ma'am, it was wave walk.
Can I speak?
Very good. Yeah, please, please do.
No, I was about the boat's name.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Now tell me. After that, Bhavya, continue, please. See, unless and until you tell me, it is no point furthering the thing. Because then what happens with that maybe I'm just speaking, and whether you are registering or not, that is more important. Because tomorrow you are going to attempt these questions. So you have to brief me whether you have understood or not. So that is why I asked you the summary that till now, till the time we have done, what is exactly that you have learned.
Ma'am, they took two crewmen along with them so that they can
Mm-hmm.
tackle the world's roughest seas, the
Very good.
Indian Ocean, and then
Mm-hmm.
on second day in day out, I mean in the Cape Town, they encountered strong waves for
Mm-hmm.
the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
These were continuously worrying them, and
Mm-hmm.
the waves were alarming, up to 15 meters high from
Mm-hmm.
the main mast. Then on
Mm-hmm.
December 25, they found it was around 35 kilometers away from the east of Cape Town, and
Mm-hmm.
despite bad weather, they had a wonderful holiday with a
Very good.
Christmas tree, this says, and
Mm-hmm.
from New Year they saw no improvements again, and
Mm-hmm.
the reason that had to change. I mean, they just told themselves that yes, it will change soon, but it didn't, and it became worse day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And on January 2, the waves just were more gigantic as they thought, and
Mm-hmm. Now, can you just tell me in one simple line what is the theme of the chapter? What does the chapter want to convey to you? What
ma'am,
is the message? Yeah,
ma'am, the theme is very simple that we should always have a positive attitude in any situation, like the narrator
very
and
good.
his family has. They just told
Mm-hmm.
themselves again and again that yes, time will become better, but still it wasn't. But still, they had a positive attitude towards every situation they face.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So this is exactly what I was looking for. That after you summarize, you would tell me this. Okay. Now, without further wasting time, we'll just directly move on to the chapter. Like I had mentioned, and I repeat again, this particular chapter is an adventurous, you can say, trip, you can say, of four people, like you have already briefed. And it talks about the narrator's courage and how he faced the adversities, and especially he enjoys his company with his crewmen and his family. And when they are all together, they are going to defeat this kind of problem even. Towards the end, you notice, like till the time we have done, that this man was losing all hope, no doubt. He had tried to save his boat somehow. He's trying that it should not capsize, meaning it should not sink or drown, and that life should be saved. So that the fight for survival is on. And the narrator, he mentions that the strength have been always the children. Both the children, even if they were hurt miserably, they did not complain to the parents. They were like that if we do, then what if our parents get deterred and they get demotivated? So, in this kind of dire situation, they should be in a positive frame of mind. And that's why even if they had a bump on their head, both the eyes was swollen, and she was like in a miserable state, bleeding and all that. but she did not complain. That coming from her 9-year-old and 7-year-old children is something which was unexpected. And that's what the chapter is all about. It talks about the grit and determination, courage, and all that of these kind of people. It's true for all of us also. Like if we lose hope, if we are not positive during the time when miserable things happen, when adversities hit us, if we start, what do you call, you start panicking, or you start not taking life the way it is, then it becomes a problem. If you allow the adversities or problems to rule over you or to control you, then the trouble starts. It's not the trouble which is important. You can overcome them. But it is only when you allow trouble to rule you. Like, for example, beta, if you have exams and all, right? And you get deterred, you completely start thinking that what will happen, the consequences. You are more concerned not of the effort that you make, but on the you concentrate on the outcome, the result. That's the problem. The first thing should be in your mind is how well should I come out of it? How well my effort should be? How well should I perform? Automatically, result is reciprocal. But if you do this well, the other thing comes out well. So that's exactly the chapter all about. And its title is also justified. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. Meaning, if we are together, we are in teamwork, we make effort, and we don't lose hope in times of adversities. That's when we win. And that's what is till now we have done. In fact, these children, Mary and all that, they tried to uplift the mood of the parents as well, especially the father. He's a hero for her. So naturally, she doesn't want the hero to fall. And that's why she draws caricatures of Mary and the narrator and makes them laugh. And that's what the last point that we had stopped. In spite of the fact that she is hurt, she doesn't care for her own injury. She's more concerned about the welfare of everyone. Coming from a small kid like 9-year-old and 7-year-old, it is something amazing. Right. Now coming to page number 17, towards almost in the middle, I checked and rechecked my calculations. We had lost our main compass and I was using a spare which had not been corrected for magnetic variation, meaning setting the time, setting the speed and setting the directions wasn't correct now. They were doing more or less, you can say, on a little bit of guesswork, little bit of calculation, little bit of judgment, you can say, that you judge that, okay, this is where we are going to reach. So this is what is happening here. I made an allowance for this and another estimate of the influence of the westerly currents which flow through this part of the Indian Ocean. So they are observing the direction, wind direction, which is very important. The currents where they are moving, how the boat will be carried further. These things the father is kind of checking. About 2 p.m., I went on deck and asked Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees. In fact, there was a movie, I don't remember, Ghazi Return, Ghazi something. Do you remember that movie?
Ghazi Attack.
Ghazi Attack, yes. If you have watched that movie, you will remember that submarine being raised up, went down, the directions were changed. These kind of things you can notice. And that is what these degrees and all that, steering course from here, directing to the other side. This is very beautifully covered in that movie. I really like the way the directions, the compass and everything, including the cabin inside, how people survive. That was an amazing part. If you watch, if you get time to do that, do watch it. If we were lucky, I told him with a conviction I did not feel, he could expect to see the island at about 5 p.m. So he made an estimate. He had an estimation done that maybe roughly around 5 p.m., if they are lucky, they will have the island in front of them. Then with a heavy heart, I went below, climbed on my bunk and amazingly dozed off. See, when do you doze off? Either you are very tired or physically tired, that is, or else if you are mentally tired as well. When you realize nothing is in my hands anymore. It's like you give up, you raise your hands and say, God, look after me. That kind of. So you can see that he's both physically and mentally tired. He's been judging, estimating, calculating, somehow physically trying to save everyone. So this man who's the captain of the ship is tired now. And like he says, amazingly, he went to his bunk bed and he slept off. When I woke it was 6 p.m. and growing dark. I knew we must have missed the island, and with the sail we had left, we couldn't hope to beat back into the westerly wind. Now, pessimism sets in. After so much of fight that he has given, he realized that no point, I'm just wasting my time, energy. So it's kind of you accept things. You start realizing that there is nothing further left. So this is what he says. And then with a heavy heart, he accepts that and he's telling that, look what is going to happen. At that moment, a tousled head means you can say unformed head. Yeah, Bhavya, you want to ask something, Bita? Somebody wanted to ask something? Am I being very fast? I hope I'm clear with you. Connect with you just, yeah, okay. At that moment, a tousled head, tousled means you can say either unformed or untidy, not well, not kept well, these kind of things is tousled, untidy. Basically, in one word, you can say untidy or unkept. So this is the head. Obviously, in all these days of struggle, none of them have bothered to even comb their hair or groom themselves well. So that is why this description. At that moment, a tousled head appeared by my bunk. Can I have a hug? Jonathan asked. Sue was right behind him. Why am I getting a hug now? I asked. Because you are the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain, my son replied. Please underline this line. This line is the crux of the chapter. This is everything of the chapter. See, for all of us, we always say a mother, and we always run to her because of anything that we have trouble. But father is the backbone of the family. Always remember, he is the one who's actually steering the wheel. He's holding on to the fort. He's running the house. He might look very stern at times and very judgmental. You feel that he's expecting a lot. At times being judgmental, he scolds you. But at the end of the day, you realize it was for your welfare. It was not as if he enjoyed doing it. So it is, even my dad, I remember when I was a child, or even now, trust me, at this age of 45 plus, I am still scared of my dad. The moment he calls out my name, Tony, 10 times, I'm like, whether I should reply back or not. Even now, I'm so scared of him. But then I realized that whatever he has done, it's done for me. And always I look up to him like a hero. It's like, it's something, Beta, if you study a little bit of psychology, there is a thing called Electra complex and Oedipus complex. These are two concepts which you must remember. It's always the daughter looks up to the father, and the boy has an attraction for the mother. That's why we call Electra complex and Oedipus complex. You read more about them. Like, we always look up to our father as if he's our hero. He's our first teacher. He's the best person around. So there's something, same feeling is shared by Sue and this guy, Jonathan. And they say that he's the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain as well. Because apart from being the best daddy, of course, because for every child, his father is the best father. The same manner, it is the concept of who is in command. That is the captain of the ship. Now, please underline this line, all of you. Not today, John, I'm afraid. Why, you must be, said Sue in a matter-of-fact voice. You found the island. What? I shouted. It's out there in front of us. They chorused, as big as a battleship. I rushed on deck and gazed with relief at the stark outline of Isle Amsterdam. You imagine the relief on the face of this man that finally he could see land and there was a chance of survival. something which we will experience. See, COVID was one such kind of a situation where you realize how worthwhile your life is. The same manner, the piece of land which is maybe in normal time it would have been inconsequential, but today it looks so amazing. And that's why the next line, it was only a bleak piece of volcanic rock with little vegetation, but the most beautiful island in the world. Now, can somebody tell me why is it the most beautiful island in the world? Anybody? Why? Why? Because there are so many.
Ma'am, because they needed it that at that moment.
That bad. Yes, yes, very good. It's like, beta, there is a saying in Hindi, डूबते को तिनके का सहारा. Even when you're drowning, a piece of straw is also very important. So it is the same manner that even if it might not have been one of the best place to be seen, or you can say it was not very lush green, it was not beautiful in the typical sense of the term, but it was one of the best things. In fact, any one of you in the class, have you watched a movie called Castaway? Anybody who's heard of it? Castaway. Nobody?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No.
I'm
Please
just
do.
heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, you've heard of it. Please do better. It has got, I think, 11 Oscars for the movie. It is
Is the actor Tom Hanks?
Yes, absolutely. Tom Hanks. You're right. And Tom Hanks, you'll not believe what an Oscar. Pardon me? Pardon me? Yes, yes, yes. He crash landed on an island, and the only company that he had was a football. Yes, that FedEx chap. And there was a football, he made him as his company, and he started, enjoying his company, talking to him. And that is what is the movie. Imagine he spent years there on the island, stranded, and how he came out of it, what he did, how was the adventure like. You imagine a single character spending years together on an island without anybody. So you can see that when he sees a ship, you can say the floating pieces of logs and all, he tied them up, made a ship, and how he moved away from there. And the very thought of seeing a piece of the land, how things changed for him. That is what.
Can you repeat the movie name?
Pardon me, pardon me.
Can you repeat the movie name?
Yeah, Castaway. 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 The movie was by Tom Hanks. You
I
must.
haven't watched that movie, but I watched a movie with the similar plot named 127 Hours, I think.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Veda. Read the book of the
Ma'am,
same.
in that movie, he actually talked to himself in a camera so that he wouldn't go
Yes.
insane from being
Yes.
alone for so long. He was stuck in a
Very
single
true, Veda.
position.
In fact, in this movie also, Tom Hanks, if I'm not wrong, talked to a rugby ball. It was not a football, it was a rugby ball. He gave him eyes, ears and nose and all that. You must, Veda, all of you must. There are few movies which I suggest to children. It is for all, like, English language you can watch. You can watch for the cinematography. You can watch for the screenplay, everything. Like one more is Forrest Gump by the same guy, Tom Hanks. Have you heard of Forrest Gump? No, even not that. Please watch Forrest Gump, Gump, Gump. Forrest Gump is another movie. It's about a person who is, you can say, autistic, and how he leads a beautiful life, and how driven he was. It's something like that. So you can see that. In fact, Castaway, you must make it a point whenever your leisure time is there. Instead of watching all kinds of memes and all that, I think you should invest your time watching something worthwhile. Okay? Right. Now this one is done. Next three. We are almost winding up the chapter. We anchored offshore. Anchored means we landed and we kind of put the thing. We parked, you can say in simple English if I put it. They parked the entire boat there offshore for the night, meaning that particular night they're going to stay on that ship. And the next morning, all 28 inhabitants of the island cheered as they helped us ashore. Meaning that one night they anchored themselves, meaning they just somehow managed to park themselves, cling on to a place. Next morning, 28, you can say, scientists who were working on Isle Amsterdam or people who were working on that particular place, they came and took them ashore. With land under my feet again, my thoughts were full of Larry and Herbie, cheerful and optimistic under the direst. It's not direct. It's direst. Just mark the word. Direst means extremely horrible. Under the extremely horrible stress, that is what he wants to convey. That with land under my feet again, my thoughts were full of Larry and Herbie, cheerful and optimistic under the direst stress, and of Mary, who stayed at the wheel for all those crucial hours. Most of all, I thought of a 7-year-old girl who did not want us to worry about a head injury, which subsequently took 6 minor operations to remove a recurring blood clot between skin and skull, and of a 6-year-old boy who was not afraid to die. So imagine the entire chapter, whatever the description might have been given, their entire journey, the description of their journey, the parts of the boat, the part of the thing, like what was the instrument being used, how the anchor was used, how the dinghies were there, everything included. But the crux of the matter was, the end result is that he realized that in dire situation, in extremely horrible situation, all that mattered was the optimism of 4 or 5 people. The thought that we will hold on together, the teamwork, the you can say never say die attitude of people. That is what held them together, and that is what the chapter wants to convey. It is about that not losing hope in the time of need. It is a passage like in the entire thing, the human nature of knowing and exploring the unknown and taking on challenges is being discussed. Now, it is a human instinct that we have to survive. And to survive, what all kinds of things it requires, that is what is the chapter all about. It talks about human courage, determination, bravery, grit, you can say, and all that, and lots of positive attitude. That is what he says is required in life. The 4 people, how they came together along with 2 crewmen who made a difference to the entire journey, and how they saved each other. It's not better that only the elders are saving the younger ones. No, they are not just the protectors. Even the children are protectors. How they do? They play on the psyche of a human being. They are these positive influences on the elder one. It is always like that. You'll see your own parents when you guys are there at home. They get the pleasure just being with you. You'll always see how at times you might not have done something right, but still how they are ferociously possessive about you guys, how they fight back for you. Maybe घर के अंदर बुला के बहुत अच्छे से आपको डांटेंगे. They might scold you, they might do whatever. But when it comes to protecting you outside, they're ferocious. So that is what that instinct is there, and that's exactly what you see it here. That the qualities of a good father, the qualities of a good captain is very much visible. And the most important, the supporting role, the you can say the children, the wife who did not give up, the crewmen who were always and always standing and pumping the water, which was a very, very difficult task. They did not give on it. And finally, you see the jubilation, the excitement, the thrill, and also the relief which was written all over the narrator and his entire crew members. So this is the chapter all about. Any word, anything that you have found which you have not understood, please ask me right now. Tell me fast, Peter. Anything who is not understood? Anybody?
Ma'am, I didn't understand this line. My thoughts were full of in Herbie, cheerful and optimistic under the direst stress.
Okay, here. Okay. With land under my feet, my thoughts were full of Larry and Herbie, cheerful and optimistic under the direst stress, and of Mary, who stayed at the wheel for all those crucial hours. This is exactly what I was explaining, beta. That now he's relieved. After the land, meaning the island, is in the picture, he's quite relieved. And when he's relieved, all he thought was about Larry and Herbie, the people who were there under continuous stress, extremely horrible stress. And Mary, who's the wife, who was there always on the steering wheel. So basically, when he got down on the land, he was thankful. He was, you can say, grateful to his people. He was also relieved to see the land. And the way he is also very happy to see his children who were optimistic in the time of horrible or extremely horrible situation. That is direct stress. In such a condition, obviously, you will be under lot of stress. That is what he's talking about. Kanak, am I clear, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other person? Anybody who's got any doubt? Okay. Now, I'll ask a few of you. In fact, somebody said, Aishwarya, I just confirm, please. But you will be able to do some animation and kind of thing. That's what your friends have suggested, that you're good at it. Are you there?
Mom, I think Arav would be better for this work.
Okay, you can take his help, no doubt, but he's already done his part. What you can do is, Himanshu, are you there, beta? Himanshu is not replying. Shashwat, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Shashwat, So you suggest, apart from Himanshu, 2 more children whom you would like to take along with you in your team. And this chapter, which I have already taught, explained to you, you are going to present in your own innovative way. See, think that ma'am was useless. She did not teach well. So how would you approach? How would you do it in such a manner? Maybe not a presentation just like that in a PDF form, but a video kind of thing also. If you want, you can take enough time, better. 1 week full you can take. Maybe next class, maybe Monday or Tuesday you can present. And you can make a good presentation or a virtual tour kind of a thing, or anything, your creativity. I leave it completely to you. That will be Shashwat and... Pardon me? Pardon me, come again? Shashwat,
I
are you
also
fine with...
present with Shashwat.
Yeah. You have to be there in a group, 4 of you. Shashwat will be there, Himanshu will be there. Aishwarya, would you like to be a part of them?
Yes, ma'am.
So 3 of you, 1 more, please suggest.
Arav Sharma.
Now, Arav Sharma has already done his work. I want somebody else. Fast. Daman, what about you?
Also help us.
Who?
Ma'am,
Helping,
yes.
Helping, yes. But not a complete presentation. Maybe Shashwat, Siddharth, are you comfortable, beta? Siddharth, Shashwat, Aishwarya, and Himanshu. Would it be fine?
Ma'am, I'm
Yes.
fine.
Siddharth?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Excellent. So all 4 of you, take the help of Arav if you want. Make an animated kind of... You know why I said animated? Because that board which you will do, you can show in kind of a 3D kind of a form. And please note that try and make a video. Have the voiceover inside. Like carry it along with the presentation. And preferably better when you present, maybe in the inset you guys can present on your own. Wear your school, at least the shirt which you wear, right?
Ma'am,
And then
they can use a software called Microsoft Sway. Ma'am, most of its animation is already built in, so you have to insert voices and make it more creative only.
Excellent. So Aishwarya, Shashwat, please take the help of Kanak also. She'll suggest to you. and make it very interesting. Let's see, and I'll also feel that, oh wow, what a way of teaching. So let's do it. Okay, take your
I
time.
don't know
no rush.
animation, but I know basic editing.
Doesn't matter. You do the thing with take the help of Kanak, take the help of Arav. Aishwarya is there, Siddharth is there, Himanshu is also there. Mainly four of you are there. You can take the suggestion and help from others as well. Fine. So this chapter you guys are going to
Okay, ma'am.
present in an innovative manner and voiceover, preferably not a class that kind of presentation, but a video kind of a thing. That will be really nice. And when you are presenting, I want that you guys should be visible in the inset, and there you should be in your uniform. That's it. Fine. Okay. So this is it. Now coming to the, I'll just share this thing with you. The PPT here. Just a brief outline I'm going to give you. This one I'm going to share right now with you also. Now this is we are not afraid to die if we can be together. It is a part of Gordon Cook and Alan East's paper. And the story We Are Not Afraid to Die is a story of extreme courage and skill exhibited by Gordon Cook, his family and crewmen in a war with water and waves for survival. Now this was set somewhere around 3rd of January. I am so sorry, the year I have mentioned wrong, so you can just correct it. 1976 part and all that, how they moved from one place to the other. The theme also I tried to maintain. The mood, of course, is solemn in the beginning, very beautiful in the beginning. How later it changed, sorrow came in, and the mood also changed. But then courage, extreme courage and skill, which was exhibited by these people, changed the entire course. Then all these characters which are there, especially Mary, Suzanne, Jonathan, and the crew members, Larry Vigil and Herb Sigler, along with the captain, who is the narrator, the 37-year-old businessman. Now, this is from Plymouth in England. They started the journey. This journey was made 200 years earlier also by Captain James Cook. So this is how this was a fruitful, you can say, culmination of 16 years of hard work by the gentleman. And he took up that with all his resources, all his expertise, skills he took up. But then nobody knows how nature will take a course. Nature is very unpredictable. At times it will bring havoc also. At times it will bring you pleasure as well. The same rainfall, if you see, you enjoy. The same rainfall can bring destruction. So that is the two sides of the story. So they're moving, and this is the wave walker. This is how they had constructed, made it, and took that in the boat, and they carried on the journey. How they moved their entire journey of 105,000 kilometers passed initially pleasantly, but then trouble started after that. The weather became atrocious, meaning it became very difficult. There were gigantic waves and all. Things could not be controlled, and they went astray. They moved from here and there, and they tried to save themselves by wearing life jackets, like donning oil skins, which is like waterproof kind of thing. It is available, and they wore it to save themselves, but did not happen like that. Then slowly, especially the captain, that is the narrator, started losing hope. But then the children did not, even if the fact that they were very badly hurt and the others were badly tired as well. They were stressed out completely. Still, they did not lose hope, and they supported the captain of the ship. And finally, they managed to find or discover the Isle Amsterdam, the small island, which in normal times wouldn't make any difference to their life. But today it meant a lot because it brought in hope, it brought in optimism, it brought in life, that finally they have been saved. That kind of relief is there. And when he jumped on the land, the first thought that comes to the mind of the narrator is how well his wife managed the show, how the children cooperated with him, did not complain, and how Larry Vigil and Herb Sigler, the crewmen, they were not stressed. Even if they were stressed out, they did not complain. Even if they suffered so much, continuously pumping water from the boat. They did not complain. They fought back, and that is what is the entire thing about. So this is the chapter in a nutshell that I put to you. The entire dynamics will be in a different manner presented by your own classmates in the next maybe after 1 week or so. And the question answers also, let me just discuss with you a few questions in an MCQ form, and then we can wind up in 5 minutes time. Just a second.
Can you share the sample question papers?
Sure, beta. Sure. See, these are the few questions here. Like we have questions. This also I'm going to share with you. Just a second. See, even this I'm going to share with you. I'm just showing you for the time being, but I'm going to share it with you. These are the things. See how beautifully the ship has been made. The analysis already we have done. The theme I have discussed with you. The girl, just see how the eyes are swollen. Though it's a dramatic representation, that's all. How the boat capsizes in the thing. This is the sextant and the compass which is there. They will going to manage. Even the character sketch I have tried to incorporate here. You guys can see that. The narrator, it talks about his grit and determination. It talks about Mary, the lady who is so strong, supportive of her husband. There are Jonathan and Susan, who are very good and supportive children. I have mentioned about the theme. This I'm going to just now share it with all of you. You can have a look, question answer at the end. Now, all of you can open, just a minute, page number 18. Please go to page number 18. Okay. Now, there is a question which I want to ask each one of you. What difference did you notice between the reaction of the adults and the children when they face danger? Tell me, what difference do you notice in the attitude of the children and the adults?
Ma'am, the adults, they all tried to save the ship while the children had faith in the adults and tried to provide moral support so it'd be easier for them to do so.
Very good, very well put. Anybody else would like to add anything? Vani, what about you, beta? You haven't spoken today. Shivansh? Anybody
Ma'am,
would like? Yeah.
Ma'am,
Continue.
the adults tried to save the ship, and they were kind of very hyper, while the children have patience in them, and they were quite peaceful and did everything that they could do to cheer the adults.
Very good. In fact, that word patience, the children did not lose that particular thing. In fact, it is not expected out of the children. Normally, the children get very jittery, they get excited, they get very upset very soon, and they make a lot of noise about their injuries. Normally, the adults are expected to do that, but here it was on the contrary. It was completely different. So that is what it is. Okay, so very nicely done. In fact, this can be a very MCQ kind of question also. Now, there's a question in your textbook only. Why do you think people undertake adventurous expeditions in spite of the risks involved? Yeah, Arav, can you answer better? Even if we know that these adventurous trips are dangerous, risks are involved, but still we take up. Why is it so? Element of thrill. Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah, Rishabh, please, you speak. Tell me the reason why people take up adventurous expeditions even if they know that it is going to be risky? Rishabh?
And to make memories.
To make memories. What else? What does it provide you? All these adventurous things, what does it provide you?
Ma'am, can I speak?
Please do.
Ma'am, it also provides an adrenaline rush, which a lot of people like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, people like a lot. Yeah, Rishabh, you did not complete your thing. I'm very persistent. If you don't answer, then I will not. I keep asking. Yeah.
Ma'am, but in this case, it was not expected that it would be such a dangerous journey, so it wouldn't be considered this, would it?
Okay. But
But
otherwise,
still,
yes.
they were preparing for the previous 16 years to experience this thrill.
Yes. Especially the gentleman. He had been kind of storing his resources and making things possible till that time. Yeah. Okay. There is one very interesting question. Even I find this question very interesting. It's there on page number 19, question number 4. Have you heard any boatmen sing? What kind of emotions do these songs usually express? I have only heard them in the movies and all. But what kind of emotion does it elicit? Dishita, why don't you tell me something? What if you listen to these kind of boatmen singing? What is thought that comes to your mind?
Ma'am, most of the songs that I've heard are also from the movies and the dramas.
So when you hear that, what comes to your mind naturally?
Ma'am, it's about their freedom, as in what they think that they can
Okay.
move
Their
about in the
freedom.
free ocean,
Mhm.
something
In
mightier
fact,
than them,
yes,
sailing from the.
yeah. I have not heard about boatmen and all, but yes, in the tea gardens I have heard them. There was a time when we posted in Assam. There's a place called Kumbigram. So that's where I had heard these women. They pluck tea leaves, and when they are doing that, they keep singing in their local language. I think Bangla or something. I'm not sure, but they would sing very beautifully. Though half the things I didn't understand, maybe the tribal language or the language which is spoken there, but it sounds very sweet. In fact, during your childhood, it must have been taught to you about Lucy Gray. Have you heard of this poetry by William Wordsworth? Anybody? No, that also has been removed. Yeah.
Could you please repeat?
I said there was a poem called Lucy Gray by William Wordsworth. So, have you heard of it? No. So,
Ma'am, I've only heard the title.
you have heard the title. Okay, Shreya. Now, read about it a little bit. You'll realize how a lady is, she's singing in the mountains, the voice is echoing, and how the poet is getting attracted to the song. It's echoing from everywhere. So, similar feeling comes when you hear the women in the tea garden singing and dancing. So, that's what I was telling about. Anyway, all these kind of experiences, your thoughts, not just bit of bookish, anything that comes to your mind also, do share with us. We'll all be a part of that entire discussion. And like I said, next class, Ashwath and along with his team members is going to present We Are Not Afraid to Die. Give a perspective from their own side. You can be very creative with it. Take the help of your friends like Kanak and Arav. They can help you out in the animation. Preferably make a video so that it's easier for me to share also. I will show it to the other teachers as well. Let everybody, all the children also benefit from the knowledge that you gain and give an analysis. What all what will you mainly cover with us? You'll do a little bit of summary. Everybody knows the summary. You'll do the theme. You will take up the analysis, which is most important. The analysis part, you're going to do a little bit of animation for the boat and for the people, the characters that is, and a little bit of good presentation. The pronunciation should be good. See, how do I assess you? Because these are all internal assessments. The rubric from which I grade you are presentation, that is overall presentation, You have your intonation and pronunciation. The content does matter. So all these four things will be there. And of course, because it will be, you'll be presenting in the inset, you must be there so that I can observe your body language as well, your way of delivering the speech, everything. That will also be there. So record it properly. Take your time. Don't be in a rush that I have to give it on this year. Maybe you can take a day or two more, but make it a worthwhile thing. Fine. So do that. And on that note, let me wind up the class. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am. Ma'am, as you said, we have to make animation with video in school uniform. But ma'am, presently I'm in Rajasthan, so I have not bought the school uniform yet.
Beta, do you have a white t-shirt, white shirt, something?
Yes, ma'am.
Bas, wear it. Okay, where in Rajasthan are you in Himanshu?
I'm Jaipur.
Jaipur, okay. Since till last month I was there in Jodhpur. Now only I have come back. When I was in Rajasthan. That's why I asked. Okay. Chalo. Lovely place, lovely people.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, beta. Have a good day, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.